Yo, what's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over my experience getting hanged, drawn, and quartered. So, this isn't my favorite thing to discuss on the channel, but I mean, a lot of you guys have been asking for a while now, so I just figured I should address it and just move on. So, I guess the first part of getting hanged, drawn, and quartered was, I guess, getting just dragged to the gallows behind a horse. And it was a bit of a rough ride and maybe longer than I would have liked because there were no gallows in my area. Like closest one was maybe I don't know 12 miles away. So it took 3 hours or so. And I don't know, most people complain about this part because your head is just smacking off the cobblestone and your entire back gets skinned. But honestly, I didn't find that too bad. But I remember my guard he was kind of on a bit of a power trip, so he actually ended up just bashing my face in with a club once he had me tied up. And I don't know. Overall, this part kind of gets overhated. And as I said, if my face wasn't caved in, I would have had a much more positive review, I guess. But who's to say? If you're going through it, maybe your guard won't pack your teeth in, and it'd be more pleasurable for you. But anyways, the next part of getting hanged, drawn, and quartered was actually getting hanged. So for a lot of you, I know this is kind of the moment you've been waiting for because it's actually in the name. But again, this part it was not super bad. Once they sort of released the platform and I reached the length of the rope at the bottom, it kind of hurt because you're sort of getting jerked around with all the weight just on your throat. But after I stopped swinging, it was actually kind of therapeutic because all the distractions, all those random thoughts just faded away, and I was really just able to stay in the moment, and that's something you don't experience much with all your iPhones and iPads and stuff. Um, yeah, so they're supposed to hang you till you're almost unalived, but they ended up releasing me 10 seconds before it happened. So usually they're aiming more for that 3 to 5 second range. So I kind of got a bit lucky, to be honest. Oh yeah, but side note, I thought I was gonna have a pretty big audience, and especially I'm not because I'm not the worst looking guy. I thought maybe the Duchess would be there to watch, or other people, but I realized since my face was caved in, I'd actually lost some of that appeal. So it was mostly dudes, but I don't know, just kind of unlucky to have the guard that I did. Um, so after they took me off the rope, it was time to get disemboweled. So if you've never been eviscerated before, this is where it starts to get a bit serious, I guess. Um, going in, I had never been gutted, so I didn't really know what to expect. And yeah, don't get me wrong, it sucked having all your organs removed. I'm telling you, our society sort of neglects how lucky we are to have livers and kidneys and stuff. But when you're in a position where someone's taking those away from you, you sort of realize we've been taking them for granted. But yeah, I mean the guy was using in my case he was using a really dull sword, so it sort of took him a sec to get going, and it hurt, but I don't know, it was sort of warm and tingly at the same time, and overall I'd say for that part I was pretty nervous, but I don't know, I kind of felt good. I can't really explain it though. Um, but yeah, I guess after that it was time to get quartered. So that's the part where they cut off your arms and legs and head. And if you're a numbers guy like me, you sort of realize well that's actually 6 parts. Your arms, legs, and torso and head. So it was kind of confusing. In the moment, I was just thinking why do they call this getting quartered if it's 6 parts? So I tried asking the guard about it, but he had this crazy English accent, and before I could make sense of what he said, he had already chopped me up. So, but yeah, overall, that's my experience in a nutshell. And so yeah, if you're planning on getting hanged, drawn, and quartered, or if you just found this video helpful, make sure to like and comment, and maybe subscribe, or maybe just share the video, or just, or yeah, or just